Hi, welcome to Penzi Halisi. I'm your host, Julia Omore. And you know, children are blessings from God, and God doesn't make a mistake. And today we have a couple who have gone through challenges of life, and they have a child who has autism, and they'll tell us about the journey that they've walked through. You know, what the society is saying, what the church is saying. And you know, God, you know, when the Bible says that he has always good plans for us, and we are created in his own image, and there's nothing that he makes which has a mistake. That one for sure. I know God doesn't make a mistake. So karibu sana, Mr. and Mrs. Okeyo. Thank you so much for coming, Jacob and Alice. I know it's for your time and leaving everything. Thank you so much for availing yourself. I thank God for you people, and karibuni sana. And even for sharing your story. You know, many people, many couples, when they have children with special needs, they don't want to come and share about their story. But I thank God that you've come, and you will encourage and even inspire even other people who are out there with children who have the same condition, and you'll really encourage them. So, tell us how you met. You know, Penzi Halisi is all about real people, real issues, you know. So karibuni sana.
Asante.
Yeah.
My name is Alice Okeyo, married to Jacob Okeyo. Yeah, we've been married for 12 years. We are nearing now to 12 years. Yeah.
Wow. My name is Jacob Okeyo. I'm born again. I'm married to Alice Okeyo. And it's a privilege that God has given us to have been able to walk this journey of marriage. 11 years now. In December 5th, will be officially in 12 years. Yeah, it's a privilege. And I'm not much of a talker. She can illustrate more of the journey easily than me.
How did you meet? How did you guys meet? Yeah.
Okay. Basically, we were in the same fellowship, Vessel of Honor, and we used to fellowship together. So, as we kept fellowshipping together, I got interested in her. Yes, and talked to her nicely, of course, and made my proposal. And she told me, okay, give me time. I think about your proposal. And later on, she said, okay, after thinking and praying about it, I have accepted your proposal. And yeah, by the grace of God, we got married in 2009, December, up until today. We thank God for the journey that God has given us the grace to be able to walk through and enjoy not only the life of being married, but also being saved. And we've grown together in all aspects and all challenges. God has been really faithful. Yeah.
That's how we met.
Okay.
You know, when somebody approaches you, you don't just say, yes.
Yes.
You have to tell him, wait, I go and pray and hear from what God is saying about the same. If God tells me yes, then
So you were busy serving God.
we were busy
Wow, that
serving
is so
God.
beautiful. You know, at times, you know, we tell the youth that when you're busy serving God, so many things also come, beautiful things come through. So your parents didn't have issues of you getting married?
Not really.
Tell us the journey of your child. Yeah, your beautiful girl. Yes.
Wow. My beautiful child's name is Purity Nwono. Nwono, which means mercy, God's mercy.
Mercy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I delivered the girl just normally, but I had a prolonged labor.
Aha.
I stayed for a very long time, for almost half a day. Then I just delivered normally after that long period of laboring. Then after that, you know, I was still in pain. I just overheard from afar the doctor telling me that this kid has an issue with the tongue. The tongue has to be cut. And they couldn't do it there,
And
right
when you're
there.
taking, let me take you back a little bit. When you're taking the scan, was the baby okay? Was the baby normal?
Everything, the baby was okay. Breathing, everything was just okay. There wasn't any issue.
Okay.
But the issue just came on delivery, that prolonging. Yeah. Then after that, they examined the kid, they checked well, everything. They just say that there is an issue with the tongue. So they told me that they can't do this minor surgery at that moment, so I'll have to wait until the first visitation, first clinic. So when I went for the first clinic, I told the doctor that this kid, I was told that the kid has an issue with the tongue.
Yeah. And
she had a tongue tie.
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't see.
Oh.
So we didn't know that it was a tongue tie. You know, the doctor didn't explain to us. She just said that the kid needs to be cut. The tongue has to be cut. So we thought it's the inner, that small thing that is in between the throat and then. So it's like when the first clinic, the doctor checked, they say that the tongue is okay. So we just knew that the kid is okay. And then the kid grew 1 year, 1.5, the kid is not walking. She just began delaying on things.
She was your first baby?
No, she's the second
The second
baby.
one, okay.
Yeah, comparing to the first baby,
one.
the first baby just began to walk at the age of 8 months there. But this one is 1.5, the baby is not walking. So it's like, we went back to the doctor. The doctor just told us that the baby will talk well, will walk well. So we had patient. The baby walked in 1 year and almost 7 months. That's when the baby began to walk normally. And then now even saying mama, 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 nothing. She was just like that. When she just stares someone like this with her tongue out, sucking her tongue, no talking, no mama, mama, no. You know the way the kids grow, they have a certain language, their Greek language. So my kid was just quiet like that. So I took a step going further to the doctor again. Told him that.
And were people coming to see the child, and
yeah,
did they comment like there's something wrong? Did people tell you, you know, like when you give birth, you know, people come and see the child? Did they ever comment like there's something wrong they can see?
You know, when the kid is just quiet like that, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Your kid is polite, your kid is quiet, is not stubborn. So you just knew that, my kid is okay.
It's okay, yeah.
No one could notice that the kid had a problem because hakukuwa mtoto wa kusumbua sumbua and all that. So when we went to the doctor, they examined again. They said that this tongue, the baby can just talk with it. Nothing will, okay, if you want the baby to be operated, then well, she can be operated, but at the moment, just leave the baby can still speak. Yeah, so we just let like that. We let go. So the kid just grew like that, and it reached a point whereby, at the age of 4 years, when we were taking now her to school.
And when you're going for the clinics, the nurses are not, you know, like they're not telling you, or you're not asking them, you know, my baby is, you know, like maybe 2 years, 1 year, they're not talking? Is there, you know, like...
Yeah, I used to question them. I used to question them, and they're just like, kids do delay. She will talk. But one doctor just told me, go to Kenyatta. Kenyatta, they are professionals there. You see. So before I went to Kenyatta, you know, at that time I had not known that the kid has autistic or the tongue is tied.
Yeah.
You know, I had not known
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So when I took the kid to the school, now they reached a time whereby the kid began to cry. The teacher noticed the tongue is tied. So in the evening she told me, hey, Mama, have you seen Purity's tongue? It is tied down there. Please go and let her be cut. So one even nika organize everything. First of all, I went to Kise because actually she advised me to go to Kise for assessment.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even the tongue. The kid is not talking. She's just quiet like that. So she told me to go to Kise for the further examination and assessment. So I took the kid to Kise, which is in Kasarani. They examined the kid. They did the assessment. Then they just told me that this kid is autistic, but hers is very mild. So what you do, before you do any therapy on her, just take her to Kijabe. Let her be cut the tongue that is tied. So we took the kid to Kijabe. We went there like 2, 3. The third time they gave us a date on the surgery date. We paid everything.
10,000 to be exact.
Yeah, they told us just pay 10,000. The nurse will give you the date. Actually, I met the surgeon. He told me that the nurse will give you the date on which you will come for the surgery. So they gave us the date. We went back home. A day before that day of surgery, the nurse called me and said that the doctor is out of the country. So don't come. You do what? Go to Kenyatta. So we went to Kenyatta.
And will they refund the money?
They had to refund back the money.
Okay.
Say that your money will refund. They refunded us money. So, and they referred us to Kenyatta now because at that moment they didn't have another doctor to do that work. So they referred us to Kenyatta, and that's where we went to Kenya. That's why we went to Kenyatta now. Now Kenyatta, they also examined, they did the assessment as usual. The kid was responding well on some things. They say that this one is very, very mild autism. But this kid will talk. And then I
And
told
when
them
they're
about
telling you about the child has mild autism, how are you feeling? Like, how was it? Were you even, how was it?
In fact, the first time I was told about the autism, I was like, no, my kid doesn't have autism.
Yeah.
You know the way you confess?
Yeah.
No, my kid doesn't
I
have autism.
Yes.
No. But with time, I just began to accept. But at the same time, I pray about it, praying away this autistic spirit. So the doctor just told me that this kid, speaking, this tongue is not very tight. She can articulate some words. She can move the tongue up and down well. But this is just a matter of brain. Speaking is a matter of brain.
Yes.
So what you'll do, they began to take me on the journey of the diet of the kid and all that.
Okay.
Say that since this kid is autistic, there are some foods that you'll have to avoid. If you've been giving the kid wheat product, things like bread, chapatis, of which the kid is the favorite of a kid, you just have to stop. Sweet things, sweets, cakes, you just have to stop. Things like milk products, cheese, ghee, things like yogurts, you just have to minimize on them. So we began to do just as the doctor said. And with time, the kid began to speak just a little.
So she never even done... Oh, the
She
operation was
told
not
us,
done.
if you insist us to cut the tongue, we can talk, but tongue is not the problem. She will talk, because we can just hear her talking some few words of which she can even talk even much more. But it's just a matter of brain. There are some things that her brain cannot read what she's saying. You know, you can see that this is a cup, but it can't register into your mind that this is a cup.
Yeah.
So that coordination was a problem to the girl. So they told me, just keep on, take her to the normal school as usual, let her learn. With time, the kid will just start grasping some things. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's how she's been. Although it's been so tough, especially in school, kids are like, this one, who you are okay. Even there are some who laugh at her. This one is big and she's not talking. I'm like,
Yeah.
you go with her to church or elsewhere, they are like, hey, Mama, you look at your kid is not talking and all that. The kid wants to talk to her, but her, she doesn't want to talk to anyone. She doesn't want to play with anyone. So she's just like, Mama, Mama. Amenikwamilia.
Yeah.
So,
And how was it, you know, like in the house, you know, there are other kids, they're playing, they're talking. Did you ever sit them down and talk to them about the child who has autism? Did you ever talk to the other children?
yes.
Yeah.
In fact, we spoke to the firstborn.
Yes,
You know, she's the secondborn. We have 3 kids. A boy being the firstborn, his name is Favor, and then Purity. So we sat Favor down, the boy down, and told her that your little sister has autistic, and this is how she is. So don't be too harsh on her. If you're talking to her, just talk to her politely. We took her through some procedures on how to handle the girl. So she understands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even we told her, keep on praying for your sister. So
Yeah.
whenever we appoint her to pray, whenever he tell him to pray, he will always pray for the sister.
Wow.
God help my sister, heal the tongue of my sister.
Oh, yes.
To him, it is the tongue. Just God heal the tongue of the sister.
Wow.
Because he's like, hey, I'm here with my sister. I can't talk with her. So, although to the boy it's also alisikia pia akusikia vizuri.
Yeah.
Hakusikia vizuri.
Wow. And what about your friends? You know, like people you know, like your family, maybe your friends. Did you ever get any challenges with them? Like, you know, asking you maybe questions. Is, you know, like people, the way they ask question, why is it that your child has autism? Is there anyone? Did you ever meet people like that?
Yeah. I've met so many friends of mine asking me the same. Ati, how is the progress of the child? Have you taken her to the hospital? Have you done this and that? What happened? Why is this kid like that? So sometimes you don't have even answers to tell me. Because if it's going to the hospitals, you've really gone to so many hospitals and there is no change, as in big change, although there is small changes. But we just tell them, anyway, we just leave everything to God.
Yeah.
He has a reason to why this kid is like this. And we believe that one day, this kid will just be okay. Yeah.
And you know, God makes all things beautiful. He doesn't make a mistake. And at times, those children are there to even teach us something. And again, we don't even learn. We are just there, maybe even judging and criticizing and asking so many questions, which you don't even have. And I don't think there is a mother who has ever desired to have a child who has special needs. I don't think so. So I think you're such a strong woman, you know, just handling all this. Now again, and you told me about the house helps. How are they? You know, like, and you told me you really even had to resign because to take care of the child. Take us through the journey.
Okay, you know, I had several house helps. Most of them, they were mistreating the kid. From the first kid to this one. Now when it came to this girl, they were really mistreating her, beating her to a point whereby, shouting at her to a point whereby, yani the child just closes up. Actually, that is where the introverts came in.
Yeah.
She couldn't open up to anyone. So when I'm coming from work, ukishaingia hivi kwa nyumba, you expect the kid just to come and embrace you and all that. But my kid was just like there kwa kona, ameinama hivi. When you try to raise up your hands, the kid is like, so I noticed that this kid lazima awe anapigwa, lazima awe anashautiwa.
And you know she can't express herself.
She can't express herself. She can't say that, Mommy, this one beat me, this one did this and that to me. She can't tell that to you. So you see, it became a challenge to me. So it reached a point whereby I had to let go the wafanyikazi and resigned my job, and then I just took care. We had to agree with my husband that let me just resign to take care of the girl. You know, if you don't understand the girl, then there's no way you're going to handle her well the way she's supposed to be handled. Yeah, so I had to resign and take care of the kid, of which I've seen a very big difference.
Wow.
Now the kid can open up, can come and embrace you, can say, Mama. When you tell her on something, when you tell her something, at times she repeats, kuja, kuja, kula, kula, tam. So she's jovial now. Yeah.
Did you ever have like that fear of people, what people will say, maybe when you're taking her to school or when you're walking, and maybe you're, you know, like birthdays, you know, when you go with her? Did you ever have like that fear?
Yes, I had that fear. You know, when you have your friends with their kids who are normal, the same age like your daughter, I'm like, I wish my daughter could be doing this and that. I wish. So there was just a fear in you that nikimpeleka mpale itakuwa zile za, I mean, you won't feel good. Your kid will be like the odd one out. So there has to be that fear.
Wow.
But
actually, sorry to interject into it, as in like, for me, actually, most of this time that she was handling the girl, I was not, I was away, I was working in Qatar. So she had to bear a lot of the weight alone. So coming back, that is 2020. Because I was having like 6 months, then I come back 6 months. So coming back 2020, it was like, now maybe take the girl to school. So unajua, you are going through, you are working with the girl now. The only sound she can make saa zingine, daddy or and she's shouting. So unajua, it's like making the attention, and it's like, now people are, well, kwani ni nini mbaya na mtoto, ama umefanya mtoto ni, is like, are you really the dad or umechukua mtoto wenyewe, you know? So just talking to her slowly and politely, she's really worked. She's really worked.
Strong woman. Wow. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back after the break. Well, welcome back. I have Mr. and Mrs. Okeyo. They have a child who has autism, and it's not an easy journey for them, and they're just sharing the way it has been for them. And Jacob was telling us the way you were in Qatar, you came back, and you didn't even have that connection with her. Oh my goodness, how was it? You know, like, you know, it's so strange, you know, like you've been there. Wow, that was hard also.
Actually, I can say 99% of the weight and the body and how the girl grew up, the weight has been on her. But when I was away working in Qatar, she used to communicate and give me the progress all through the session of going through the doctors from Kise, Kijabe, and all this frustration until I came back. And now she started telling me, now work with the girl, let her start embracing you as the dad, and that you may also bond with her and get to really know her as you go along with her. Take her to school, and it took some time because she was talking about that kafia. This like is in between fear and embarrassment, because the kid is just all over, and so you try to find very hyper. So with the time, every time she used to wake me up there in the morning and be, hey, Daddy, she would take the girl to school so that pia at least mtoto akuzoe, and through that process you walk with her, you talk to her. I just talk to her, hata kama she's not responding to me, but I speak to her, and you try and find the things that she's connecting to. But especially like kama mimi, so my phone, she used to scroll and find the gospel music and start singing and keep playing throughout. So sometime when we are walking, I sing to her the gospel. You find that she becomes attentive, and she's not the tantrums hakuna. Zinatulia. But ukinyamaza tu saa zingine, now she just becomes hyper, na kaa chini aendi, anakuambia tuende asongi. So you get to learn and embrace it, and with time that acceptance and the bonding imekuwa. So I thank God, because mi nilipata the hard job she did. So now it's just speaking and just embracing her and speaking to her, continually praying for her. Yeah.
And how was it with your parents? When you tell them you have this child, or even when you travel, like sometimes holidays when you go home, how was it with your parents? Do they ask questions? Even your relatives, hata kwanza wacha parents, relatives kwanza, relatives, do they ask you, how come, and and us, we don't have, these sides, how jitetea, the men's side, our side. So how was it?
Actually, like I said before, most of their life, mimi nilikuja, I was away, nilikuwa Qatar. So coming back, the few moments that we used to travel with her together, tukienda home, the mom used to embrace the girl, but she passed on. So the grandmother, she passed on. So hakukaa naye sana, but she embraced her. But the dad, my dad is not the most patient guy. So alikuwa like, this kid is problematic like that. No. So, like that. And a few relatives say, okay, you take her to Mata Hospital, take her here, take her there, giving a lot of advice. And, it's like, eish. But all in all, we just talk to them and tell them, no, children are a blessing from the Lord. That's the word of God. So they don't come with a manual that we atakuja hivi. So you are prepared, ABCD, you follow like this. So when she was born that way, it's just, we took time to embrace her,
And to love her. Yeah.
Love her. That's really build that self-esteem in her. That's really improved her, because I noticed that even the few days that I was in Kenya na nikirudi, when she was born, alikuwa amenyamaza sana, and she used to keep to herself. But with the time when she was introduced to school, and thank God for the school she is in, they really embraced her, the teachers, and even the children. So they accepted her. So it's really built her self-esteem, and she's really opened up. Sasa hata ukikuja ukienda shule, Baba Purity, Purity aliambia mwalimu sit down, aliambia, you know, they also want to relate to her. You see them hugging her, holding her hand. So, I mean, it's really been so much of an encouragement. So, unajua hata when you're going to school, you greet the teachers, talk to the head teacher, the children, you know, you find that enthusiasm, kuchangamka, yeah, in all of them, and mtoto mwenyewe. So, you are encouraged.
Yeah, and I thank God for even the teachers who, you know, who take time, even, you know, it's a normal school and the child is there, she has autism and the teacher is just there taking care of them. I really appreciate those teachers and may God bless them so much. So tell me about the church, you know, like, you know, when you go, the child is so hyper, how was it, you know?
Okay, every time we go with her to church, before, she used to be all over. But most likely she used to be on the altar. She wants to sing on the microphone. She wants to play the instruments. She's on the mixer there. She wants to do some adjustments on them. So no one could understand her that time. So the usher kept on, anamtoa mbele, anamtolea kwa huu mlango. The girl rotates outside. She enters through another door. Yuko tena pale mbele.
And this is now a place where people also start talking. Mtoto wako kweli umfundishangi adabu?
Exactly.
Au mchapangi, si umchape akienda hapo ni kwa
some who approach me, si ufundishe mtoto wako adabu.
Oh no.
So I just had to tell them that my kid has a minor problem. Yeah. So I won't go into details with them. So one day,
because I think also a person who wants to understand will not come to attack you first. They will ask, how come your child, you know, like, you know, asking, because now the society is coming to attack you. Like, kwa nini, why are you not doing? But they're not asking, why is the child like that? You know, the other child are not doing that. And why, you know, like, you will even have a way to respond to them. But, you know, when somebody comes to attack you, you will even have difficulty even in, wow, so in church, and then what happened?
So they reach a time whereby, okay, I had to explain to the pastor what the girl, what the girl was, how she was, and all that, the problem that she had. So the pastor one day just took a time and told the entire church to, she called me together with the child. We were there in front. Then the entire church prayed for the kid. So after that, the kid began to, she wasn't that vigorous. Akawa mtulivu. She was just calm. Now she would come into the church, sit. If she's sitting next to the pastor, actually she made sure that she's sitting next to the pastor. She will sit, watch everything, and then when she's tired, she goes out, play, and then come back again, like that. So she just began to be calm.
And you know, they can't concentrate for long.
They can't concentrate for long.
People have to understand that.
But where there is music, she also used to block her ears too much. Every time she's just like, you know, noise to highs. Kids with autism, they are very sensitive with the hearing. So most of them, you will find them holding blocking their ears at all times. Every time they hear any sound, it irritates their hearing. So they'll keep on blocking their ears. So that is how the girl used to do. She's just, so when you talk to her, she's just like, so it's like she doesn't want to hear. No. She doesn't want to listen to what you're telling her. So you see.
Oh, okay. And you told me she loves singing.
She loves singing. So what we did, the father had to look for a microphone because she loved those microphones there up on Mbele Kanisani. She wants to go there and sing. So it forced my husband to just go and look for one microphone. So we have one microphone in the house. Whenever she wants to sing, we give it to her. She sings on the microphone well. Though you hautasikia words clearly, but she sings. She loves the gospel very much. You know, when she was growing up, at a tender age, between 0 to 12 months, she used to cry a lot. So the things that we used to do, tuna hiyo katikati ya usiku, tunamwekea tu mziki.
Wow.
So we used to do shifts.
The
gospel,
worship, yeah.
worship gospel, worship music. So at times my husband could hold her for some time. When he gets tired, he goes to sleep, and then ananiwachia like that till morning. That is how we raised her up. So alikuzwa tu akiwa anapenda mziki, the gospel music, to be precise. Yeah.
Wow.
Not any other music. Even if you put any other music,
yeah,
she won't listen.
Yeah.
She just wants the gospel, and she
gospel.
identifies that this is the gospel and this is the secular music.
Wow.
So you won't find her on the secular music at all. But gospel music, she'll sit down and listen clearly and begin to sing along. That is how she is. Yeah.
And you know, God created them so differently and unique because they have so many talents. You told me about the phone. She can easily connect with the phone, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they are so talented with the music, with the, you know, the computer. So I think it's also good to what do we call, to make them, you know, like even in church, give them space to sing also, like even you know, like the Sunday school, like I give them the opportunity when you go to Sunday school, you know, that is the place where now they can even sing. And wow,
that is what I do. You know, I'm in Vessels of Honor, and we are in a singing ministry.
Yes.
We minister through music and all that. So many times I carry her along.
Wow.
Ananinia na at times nampatia microphone, anaimba. So she feels so good. Yeah.
Wow. So again, I wanted to ask about our society. What advice can you give to our society, and especially the people, just people around us, the neighbors, just people around us?
Okay, for society, if you have any kid who has a challenge, don't just close up that kid in your house. Expose that kid. You know, my child, we had to expose her. Tungemwacha kwa nyumba, hata najua kuongea hangeongea. You know, most of the parents, what they do, whenever they identify that their kid has a problem, most of them, due to fear, they can't expose their kid. They just wanamwacha anakaa kwa nyumba. They don't want to expose them. So I'll advise the parents with kids who have issues, who have special needs. Try and expose your kid. By that exposure, the kid will start opening up. The kid will start learning a lot from others. You see, and also embrace. Try and embrace the kid. Love them just the way they are. They are creations of God. God has created them with a purpose.
Amen.
Just love them.
Amen.
Embrace that condition. Love them just the way they are. By you loving them, they'll start opening up. They'll start improving. They'll start accepting themselves. You know, there is one thing just to accept yourself, and also you can even decide not to accept yourself. The way it will depend on how people have taken you. So when you love these kids, they will also love themselves. You will be boosting their self-esteem. Yeah, so I'll just advise the society also to embrace these kids. Yeah.
Jacob, let me ask you, is there a time that you had like rejection to the child, like rejecting your own child? Is there a time it reached that you just rejected the child?
I'll say no, but the thing is, you know, you start questioning yourself and asking, I mean, how is it? What happened here? You know, like you expected the pregnancy was normal, everything was normal until last minute. But now you are like, now God, I don't know what happened. How are we going to deal with this? And you know, you are looking like the family is still young. So you're trying to like, all this journey, how am I going to get through all these hurdles? But by the grace of God, that acceptance started settling in, and I accepted the condition of the girl and said, okay, because God, you gave us the girl. It's a gift. Help us and give us the grace to walk through this journey, that also others also may find, the encouragement. Because mostly you find that many people want to hide the kids, and through that, the self-esteem of the kids, be it a girl or a boy, starts going down. And through that, unapata even other normal things that a normal child should be doing, going to toilet, taking care, small things that look normal and basic, because of the lack of that self-esteem and that the love of the parents and that embrace. Kama hakuna, the kid just loses it, and anakali kama like is mtule akili punguani, as in he can't do, he's helpless. You have to be there to monitor him or her 24 hours. So I mean, it's a weight for the parents also, because unajua, you want the kid to grow up to be able to take care of himself or herself. But here acceptance and your love, it goes a long way. And I thank God also for Pastor Ben and Pastor Clarice. They've been really supportive and, continually encouraging us and, giving us that assurance that we'll be praying for you. God has, purpose for the best. So don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Don't look down upon the kid as like, he's us, we don't know. Yeah.
And I thank God, because God has a great destiny for that child. She was not a mistake, and we were all created by God's image. So she's a God image. When we see her, we see God. So, and Alice, you were telling me about this amazing thing you do for encouraging other women. How has it been? Like, is it a foundation? Is it a ministry? Is it that something that you like doing?
I can say through what I've been going through with my child, this is something that has just been bathed up in me, just to help women who have children with issues. So whenever I come across these women, wakiwa kama wako na watoto wako na challenges, I just find myself encouraging them. That is what I love doing that. And I thank God He brings my way such kind of parents. So by the time we are parting, at least I've imparted something in that woman's life. Anasema, kumbe ni hivyo. So it's like, it's my desire to help such kind of women that have children with issues.
Wow. And there's maybe a mother there who feels so, like so discouraged with their child with special needs. What could you like to tell them? And maybe there are those even going through rejection and even the fear you're talking about. What could you like to tell them?
Okay. The parents that are going through such, be it a mother or a father, I thank, first and foremost, I just thank God for blessing me with an understanding husband.
We thank God.
You can imagine having bear this child with such a condition, and then I'm rejected.
Imagine. He rejects you and he runs off. Yeah, and there are
That
men
is
who are
what,
doing
yeah,
that.
there are some men who does that. Akiona umezaa mtoto ambayo sio labda na akili punguani ama ni kilema, anasema huyu mtoto si wangu, they run away. So you are left with the body. But I thank God for a caring husband who's been going the journey with me all along. So I'll advise those mothers who are discouraged with those kids, please just put God first.
Amen.
Prayers are very important. That is something that has really worked for us. I'll just advise them just to pray. Pray for the kid. Never cease to pray for your children. Just pray for them. No matter, it doesn't matter how little that prayer is, it will go a long way. And those prayers don't go into dustbin. God will remember them. And God is just working behind the scene. You can't see them right now. You can't see the result right now. But I believe that God is doing something in the life of that kid. And then just embrace them. Yeah, just embrace them the way they are. Love them. This is a creation of God. It's a gift of God. Just love them. And you'll see a tremendous change in the life of these kids. Yeah. Ni mtoto tu kama hao wengine. Yeah. And though they have extremes, these kids, most of them have extremes. Don't push them off. Identify what they love most and build. That's like my girl loves singing. So we try as much as we can. We get music, be it phones or laptop. We let her listen. And through that, she's building up her skill. They do things that wanafanya, they exceed. When you tell them, osha vyombo, wash, mpaka the time you tell them stop. That is how some of them are. So just teach them pole pole, give them in bits. Yeah, they will learn slowly. Then they will grow up to be somebody prominent in the society. Yeah.
Wow. Mr. Jacob, encourage a man there who has a child with special needs. What could you love to tell them? You know, there are many who run and there are many who don't even want to take responsibilities. They just leave their wives and go. What could you like to tell a man right there?
Wow. The great, I mean, to be a father, to be a parent, it's such an honor and a gift that only God gives you. Because it's not everybody out there that is going to embrace being a parent, being a father, or taking that responsibility. But that when you are given that opportunity, the kid may be a girl or a daughter, born with a defect or not, but know that that responsibility God has given you, it's not a responsibility that everybody embraces. Take that opportunity and know that what you do will make an impact to generations, not just yourself, your own small family or village. Embrace the children, embrace the child, and love her to the most. Because, the kids, they are very innocent. When you are growing up, you are given everything. So also take that chance and opportunity to love them and show them, give them the best. Because the one time or later on, whether you are there or not, they will be thankful that somebody took the opportunity. I had a dad, I had a mom who gave her best and gave her all so that I may, make a difference and be able to not only take care of myself, but also to be an example to others. You don't know, you may not know that example. There is somebody watching and seeing the way you are handling that situation, but it's silently observing and saying, "Nyewe." One friend of Alice was saying that, "Yeah, Alice, you people are courageous. You didn't hide the girl and put her somewhere that every time you're going, yani amefichwa, but let her also experience and be exposed. You never know."
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. And again, I've also learned, as the society, we should not go there and judge and criticize and ask even questions that are not even making sense. Let's embrace the children. Let's love them. Even when the society loves those children, they even feel loved more. So I think it's also a lesson from us that we should also learn to love the children with special needs. Yeah, and I really thank God for such a beautiful opportunity. Thank you so much for coming. Just sharing your testimony. It's real life. It's so encouraging. And thank you for taking your time. I know you had to take care of the baby, but you decided to come. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Thank you so much for watching Penzi Halisi. I'm your host, Julia Omore, and I believe today we've learned something about children with autism, that you should love them, you should be there for them, you should take care of them and know that God created them with a purpose, just to live in this world. So thank you so much for coming, and God bless you until we meet next Saturday. God bless you. Bye.